Hello and welcome back to Crucial Tech. So today on this video we'll be doing something different. I'll be starting a new series whereby I'll be reviewing custom ROMs. In the process I will happily take ideas from you, the viewers. So if there's any ROM that you want me to try out, you can comment down below and I will try to look for the phone or try to look for the ROM, and then we can be able to test it out. So for today, the first one that I'll be testing, Dot Os on the Mi 90. So let's get started. So the first thing when you want to install the Dot Os is it's a normal installation. If you've installed any other custom ROM, just download. The download link will be down in the description. So after download, you reboot the recovery, make a backup. I usually tell everyone before you do something like this, make a backup. Then after that, flash the build. The build is combined with the Google apps, so you do not have to flash the Google apps. But if you also need the vanilla version, there's also the vanilla version available. The first thing we will be looking at is the boot animation. So here goes the boot animation. It is nothing too busy, it's a very simple animation. Once done with the setup, this is a home screen that you will meet. This ROM is made to look like the Pixel. Even Google Photos, you will be able to have unlimited backup because the phone believes that it's a Google Pixel. So that's the first good thing about this ROM. The launcher, it comes with the Pixel launcher. So if you know about the Pixel launcher, we have the dynamic dock, whereby depending on the apps you use, the dock changes based on the apps. If I open an app, let's say what will I try? If I open, let's say, music, and I go back, you see the dock has changed just like on a Pixel. So let's go to the customization. Going into the customization, we will go one by one and we try to look into the customization that this ROM has. So first we have the wallpaper. Here you can change the wallpaper. You can pick from your gallery, or you can install the built-in Dot Os wallpapers. We have 4 wallpapers. You can choose any that you want. Going back, now we have the always on display and lock screen category. On this ROM, if you've not used this ROM before, toggles are a bit different because instead of having to tap to select, the options are selected through sliding. The first option is always on display. It is disabled by default. You can enable it. So the always on display is whereby if you turn it off, you will have this screen always on. So anytime you can check your phone and you will have this always on display like on a Pixel again. So for me, I keep that disabled for the sake of battery life, but if you like it, can do. So another one is the edge lighting, whereby when you get a notification, you have the lights on the side, so you can either enable it or disable it. After that, we have the accent color. It's either a default color, you either choose a color mode, you give it a custom color, or the notification color. So when you choose notification color, the color will change based on the app that has received the notification. So for example, if it's Facebook, you'll get a blue notification light. If it is WhatsApp, you'll get a green notification light. For me, I keep it at accent color. So based on the phone's accent color, that's the color that we'll have for my notification. If you choose custom color, if you change here and set custom color, then now this area you can go in and choose the color you want. You have a lot of choices for colors. So the last one is screen off animation. So let me show you how this works. So by default, this is the default one. That's a screen off. Just turn off as normal. You can change it to be CRT. Now look closely at how the phone turns off, like an old CRT. Okay, the last one is scales. So it's like it's scaling down as it turns off. So for me, I keep it at default. You can choose either one that you want. So we go to the status bar. So status bar, we have battery style. So battery style, so the default is this one, whereby it's an icon of the battery. Slide, you have the circle, turns into a circle. Slide, you have the dotted, so it's a dotted circle. Slide again and you have filled, so it's like a complete circle. For me, I go with the default. Then we have the percentage style. So percentage by default is hide. You can change this to either inside. If you say inside, it will be inside the icon. So based on the icon that you choose. So like right now it's the upright battery icon. So if I change it to circle, it will be a circle and percentage inside. You also have the option to put it outside. So outside, you will have the icon on the side and the percentage style next to it. So moving on, for me, I like to keep it outside, so I leave it like that. You also have the option to show percentage in the quick settings. Once you're done with an area, you can fold it up. In this area now, we are going to personalize the clock. So on the clock, you can either show it or turn it off. So for now, it is on by default. If I disable it, you see at the top, we do not have the clock on the status bar. So if you click again, it's going to show. So next, we have the option to decide where we want the placement of the clock. So it's either on the left, at the center, or on the right. So you can choose to show seconds or not. So AM PM style, you can either turn it on to show AM or PM, or turn it off. I like to keep it off. In addition, you can show the date. So right now it's no date. I can turn it off to show the day, or so we have to no date, small date, that will show a small date, or normal, so that it will be the same size as the time. So I like to keep it off to avoid clutter on my status bar, but depending on your choice, you can keep it as you want. So we fold that. So traffic indicator, this one will be able to show your download speed, upload speed anytime you are downloading something or just normally using the internet. So by default, it's disabled. You can enable it. So when you enable it, here it is. In addition, you can auto hide the traffic. So if the traffic gets to a certain limit, you can set a certain limit for your traffic. So once the traffic goes to a certain limit, you can auto hide. Let's say you are not doing much with the internet, or you're just not using the internet, it will hide. But if you turn off the auto hide, it will always be there. So your choice also. So you can choose to show kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, or kilobits, megabits, gigabits. So your choice. So for the battery light, so we can decide to show the light or not. You can enable or disable during. If you have enabled do not disturb, you can enable or disable the battery light. So blinking, so once the battery is low, this light at the top, there's a light here that will blink to show that the battery is low. The notification light that is usually at the top. So if you set it to blinking on, once the battery goes down, it will start to blink to show you that battery is low. So going back, those are the quick settings. We go to app lock. So on app lock, you can choose any app that you want to lock, and you can lock. So here, the lab, we have the Monet Wannabe lab. It's called the Monet Wannabe. I don't know who came up with the name, but that's what they choose. So on this one, if you've seen or if you've tried the Android 12 preview, this is basically where the idea is coming from. When you set up a wallpaper, the phone will choose an accent color based on the wallpaper colors. So for example, let's go back. the engine is enabled, let's go back and choose a wallpaper from the built-in wallpapers. Right now, before I do anything, the accent color is blue. So if I choose this one, as you can see, it's already showing us that if I apply this, the accent color is going to be green. So if I apply, and I apply it to home screen and lock screen, so it will take a few seconds. Then once it enables, you see the accent color will now be green. And if we go back to this engine, Monet wannabe engine, you can see the colors have changed. Okay, moving on, we have the clock face. So this is how the clock is going to look on the lock screen. You can choose from a number. We have around 10. So depending on your choice, choose any. So next, we have the FOD icons. FOD icons are the fingerprint icons. As you know, this phone has the in-screen fingerprint. So there's an icon to show you the fingerprint. So you can choose which icon is going to show the fingerprint. There are a lot of choices. Choose any that matches your style. I like to keep it at default. Here we have the animation. You can turn it on and choose any animation that you want. So depending on the animation you choose, this is how it will show when you're unlocking the device. So buttons. So you can invert the layout of the navigation bar if you are using the buttons on the navigation bar. If you want the navigation bar, you can use and invert the layout. So if you want the back to be on the right, like on Samsung devices, or you want the back to be on the left, like on the other devices, so this is the option to invert. So wake device by pressing volume button. So if you enable this one and you turn off the device, or the device goes to sleep, or the screen goes off, you can turn the screen on by pressing either volume up or volume down. I don't like this idea. I like to keep it off. You can answer the call by pressing volume buttons. I also don't like this one because I choose to mute my calls by pressing the volume button. So if you turn this on and you get a call and you press the volume button, it will answer the call automatically. So this one, control playback by pressing volume button. So this one, if you are playing music and the screen is off, you can just hold the volume up to go next, or hold volume down to go to the previous track. This is a good idea. That one I turn on. You can also reorient the volume button, so the up to become the down and the down to become up. Next we have themes. Here you have the choice to choose the font of the device. Here you can choose any font that you want. So you have the headline font and the body font. Headline, body. So for this default, you have this Inter font, OnePlus, Slate, Victor. Then there are others like this one. You have headline, Google Sans, body, Roboto font. So depending on your choice. Icon packs, we also have a few. You can choose any icon pack that matches yours, matches your style. So for example, if I choose Kai, you see my icons have changed. You can also choose icon shapes. These are for the shapes on the home screen. And then accent color, here you cannot choose icon colors. You cannot set the accent color if the Monet engine is enabled. So you have to disable the engine first, the one I showed you, whereby it takes the color from the wallpaper. So to be able to set a constant accent color. I don't know why I would want to do that. I would prefer it to choose it for me. But if you want one color that matches your style and you don't want it if you want one color that matches your style and you don't want your phone changing your colors every now and then you can keep it. You can turn it off, then choose a specific accent color. So system, so hold to touch. This one is if you turn it on when the screen is off, hold the power button, touch will come up. Status bar brightness control. With this one, if you turn it on, slide on the status bar and your brightness changes. You see, just by sliding on the status bar, it changes the brightness level. I don't like that. Keep it off. Double tap status bar to sleep. With this one, you double tap the status bar, the phone will sleep. For that one, I like to keep it off. So double tap the lock screen to bring up the, you can double tap the lock screen to sleep also. There is also the double tap to open ambient display when the phone is on doze mode. So if you double tap, you'll see your notifications. And then you have the option to enable or disable the left right buttons at the bottom when typing, so you can enable them while typing. You have the option to take a screenshot using 3 fingers. So if you enable these, then drag 3 fingers anywhere on the screen. So if you enable these, then drag 3 fingers on the screen, it will take a screenshot. So here we have the option to make the volume panel left-handed friendly. So if you are a left-handed person and you want the volume panel to go on the left instead of on the right, you can turn this on, and anytime you change the volume, it will be on the left rather than on the right as usual. So the nav bar peel, this nav bar at the very bottom, you can either turn it off completely, hide it, or increase the size depending on your liking. I like to turn it off completely. I know it's there, I don't need to see it. Pocket mode is whereby if your phone is on the pocket, you will avoid accidental press here and there. So this is also another good it's also another good customization option. This one is for advanced reboot. If you turn it on, then go to reboot, you'll have advanced. So instead, first of all, if it's disabled and you hold the volume, you only have emergency, power off, and restart. But if you turn it on and hold the volume button, you now have advanced. So from the advanced, you can go to you can restart to bootloader, restart to recovery, or just restart the system UI. So if you want that level of customization, you can turn it on. And then we have lock screen media. Lock screen media is whereby you have, when a song is playing and the screen is on the lock screen, and when a song is playing and you're on the lock screen, you'll be able to see the media art of the song playing. Also visualizer, music visualizer, when the music is playing, you'll see the buttons playing up and down, up and down. Okay, do you have any other thing? Okay, yeah, we have the launcher grid. You can change the grid of the launcher. This is the default. Now you can have 4x4, 3x3, 2x2. I keep it on default. Lastly, we have the maintenance. This is a list of the people who have made this ROM possible. So if you scroll, you will be able to see who is the main maintainer for your device. So for us, we thank Marco Rizzo. Marco Rizzo is the one in charge of Mi 90, the one I'm using right now. So those are all in terms of customization. So basically, this is a custom ROM that is purely based on Pixel. It's made to mimic the Pixel, and it does a good job at it. And you can see we also have the a few more customizations better than even the Pixel itself. The good thing about this custom ROM, I will say, number one is the simplicity. You have the Pixel experience on the device. So that's my review of the Dot OS on the Mi 90 or the Redmi K20, depending on your region. So I will say, for me, it is a fantastic ROM, and I will recommend it for anyone with this device. Anyone who is not a fan of MUI and wants something to something with the Android feel, the vanilla Android feel to it. So I will really recommend this. So if you are running this ROM, or if you have tried this ROM and there's something that I missed, comment down below, let me know. If there's something that you did not know and I have made you realize, comment down below, let me know. And if you like the video, hit the like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe button, subscribe for more, and see you on the next one. Bye.